Mainly clear skies tonight, low 58. Mostly sunny, warm tomorrow with a high of 87. I'm Bill Korch, 94.1, 620 KHB. KHB Irwin.
W231 BM Clairton.
Serving the tri-state area. You're listening to 620. AM Impact on Your Health is...
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to AM Impact on Your Health. AM Impact on Your Health for every day. Our goal is to have you learn at least one thing to help you live better and longer. AM Impact on Your Health is heard each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney, and I'm with you each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. AM Impact on Your Health, where each day you'll find current medical news, knowledgeable guests, fascinating health topics, and of course where we do encourage you to call in to join in. Today, well, a launching of another new program, as if we haven't launched enough new programs around here already. Really proud of this one, though. It's one that I think my embarrassment has finally got the better of me, talking about people and how they need to control their weight, deal with carbohydrate issues, control hemoglobin A1Cs. They've not really been providing the best of all programs to accomplish those objectives. Well, that all changes today, folks. We're going to announce the initiation of something called the TLS program, Transition to Lifestyle Systems Program, which will initiate itself on September 27th and be held on Saturday mornings out there at the South Point exit of I-79. Now, today we're going to have two lovely guests with us. One, a young lady by the name of Patricia Simanski, and she's going to be teaching that program, and we're going to hear from her about what this is all about and what her role will be. Then about halfway through it, we're going to switch gears and get Dr. Tyson Swigart here, a very well-known chiropractor in our area. In fact, his office will be the venue for this weight loss program held each and every Saturday for 10 weeks. And we're going to get his input on the movement component, a very important part of any program. I like the idea that I finally have some input. I could never really deal with, Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig. They got their own national marching orders, and far be it from them to want to listen to a guy like me. But I got some pretty strong opinions about what should and should not be included in a weight loss program. And my stamp of approval is going to be all over this thing, as you will see as time goes on. So look, our guests today are first Patricia Simanski, and then Dr. Tyson Swigart. We're going to be talking about TLS. If you think you'd like to become a part of this program, you'll give us a call sometime this morning at 724-942-3002 so we can get you enrolled. We got 25 slots, and they are filling up. More about that as the morning rolls on. Of course, as you know by now, if in the course of our discussion with either Ms. Simanski or Dr. Tyson Swigart, you want to call and ask a question or to make a comment, that number will be 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. Now, let's see how things are unfolding here. On Wednesday, don't forget there's a Patricia tasting. You know about Patricia, this unique one-of-a-kind company with one-of-a-kind products that are able to give you a thermogenic beverage, meaning it burns calories, burns fat without you doing a thing. Low glycemic index, satiety quenching, and cephalic phase blunting response to any sweet taste that enters your mouth. Those four components can't be found in any other go-to drink that I know of. We've been really promoting this very heavily since I was first introduced to Patricia. And on Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, out there at the PT place from Lori Lankowitz, called Balance for Wellness. It's at 158 Brickyard Road She's going to be having a tasting out there. If you're in the North Hills, up McKnight Road area, Cranberry area, Mars and Butler, stop in to see her at 158 Brickyard Road. She'll have the coffee, the tea, lemonade, and the sweetener, and give it a try. I think once you do, you want to be a part of the Patricia family, and we will show you how, in fact, to have that take place. All right, we are moving in. By the way, it was today, folks. They went back to school today. Didn't yours? Just about everybody back now, or close to it. The two young lovelies of mine went back to their respective quarters today, and our counting backwards now ends officially as of this morning. As I'm flipping the page and looking into the first week of September, Susie Weiss is going to be our guest here on September 8th. Of course, she always comes here monthly to be able to discuss the use of essential oils, specifically by a company known as Young Living. They make a very pure product. Susie Weiss is as knowledgeable as it gets on this matter. If you want to learn more about how these essential oils can be helpful to you and your health issues, then you want to listen to Susie on the 8th. And you also want to be a part of the experience here in my office on the 11th. That's a Thursday, 11th of September. The time slot will be 10 a.m. to 12 noon or thereabouts. It doesn't have to necessarily end right at noon, but about 2 hours worth, an hour and a half to 2 hours. Dr. Vavarum returns with us on the 10th of the month, and then looking out to the 14th, and you don't want to miss him. He was here a week ago. Dr. Jerry Tennant is going to be coming back to talk about Healing is Voltage, Part 2. He had a pretty unique way of describing how disease occurs in the body. I think he even has a more unique way of describing how you fix it, and it is fixable. And everybody I've spoken to who heard the show said, oh, that man, he is so brilliant. And I agree wholeheartedly. He is one brilliant guy, and he's nice enough to spend some time with us. He'll be back on the 14th of September. Eye programs this up and coming month. The next eye protocol, a 3-day treatment protocol, will be here in my office on the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. If you are afflicted with eye disorders such as macular degeneration, glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy, and cataracts, you'll want to be able to enroll yourself in a program to get those doggone problems reversed and get you started on to having your vision restored to what it was previously. It only takes 3 days to get that thing going. We've talked about this many times with you. This is the Dr. Edward Condrot program that he put together over the last 12 to 13 years. We now are the affiliate here in the North. Ed sees patients down in his Dade City, Florida office, but no longer comes back to Pittsburgh to run the programs. We do that for him. However, he is involved with every single patient that we manage. We need to have an ophthalmologist on the case, and he certainly is all of that. Just about does it. I think I'd like to move on and get really into this TLS program that we're launching today and have an opportunity to let you ask questions if you want to. So we're going to take a short break. In the interim, get with our first half of the show guest, Patricia Simanski. She's the one that's going to be running the program. She should be able to tell you what TLS means and how it is that this program can benefit you. Be right back in a moment with Patricia.
I'm confused about it.
Okay, we got her.
All righty.
Seems that every time you turn on the television,
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health. We're here on KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney with you today, a Monday morning version of the show, and a launch date. We've launched so many new programs literally within the last 30 to 60 days. Why not another one? I mean, a really important one, too. People always have concerns about weight loss. I have even bigger concerns about sugar management, pre-diabetes, and full-blown diabetes, that it was time to allow you the listener, and you, the patients that come to see us, to have a formal program that I can put my stamp of approval on. And we're going to be discussing that program today. It goes by 3 letters, T, L, and S. I'm going to let our guest today tell us what all 3 letters mean. She herself is a healthcare professional for 30 years. With certifications in cardiology, podiatry, family health and wellness, and specializing in adult and children's weight management programs. She's a mother of no less than 6 children, my goodness gracious, and director of a wellness obesity center in Windber, Pennsylvania. President of a group called All About the Kids Programs, and the executive coordinator of Nutrimetrics, the TLS weight management program. She's our guest today for at least the first half of the show. Her name is Patricia Simanski. Good morning, Patty, and welcome aboard.
Thank you, Dr. Courtney, for having me.
I really have been looking forward to this day. We have to help these folks that I have never been able to properly address their issues, and really was a breath of fresh air to meet you and see that what you offer and what you've done and you continue to repeat is something that we absolutely need your skills and services in around here. You call this program a TLS program, but before we get into it, let's hear about you. The circuitous route that you may have taken to be where you are now is a fascinating one. Give us a better description of your background.
Well, I've been working in health and wellness and weight management for the last 8 to 10 years, specializing in cardiology and podiatry and diabetes, and helping people have a better understanding of their body and how it functions and how we need to have better health of ourselves. And weight management plays a huge part in every aspect of our health. So I went down that path of educating myself, getting certifications, and learning about proper food choices and what our body actually needs to function and be healthy.
Now, this program that you've latched onto, and I've really reviewed this up one side, down another, and I'm usually very critical, but I got to tell you, I'm really impressed with the overall concepts that are brought to the forefront, how patients can be helped. You call this program TLS. What is this TLS weight loss solution?
It is the Transitions Lifestyle System, and that's what TLS actually stands for, and it is a health and wellness weight management all-encompassing program. We meet once a week for 1 hour for 10 consecutive weeks, and each week we will learn a different topic about our body and food and how it's processed. We will learn topics like the difference between good and bad carbs, good and bad sugars, the role that fiber and protein play at each meal. It is not a diet. It is very important to know that diets fail. This is a lifestyle change. And once you learn over 10 weeks how to change your lifestyle to a positive way, we're going to include stress management, relaxation techniques. We're going to talk about proper exercise and stretching for your body composition, your body type, and your personal health issues.
So pretty all-encompassing, huh? And as you mentioned, the emphasis, and maybe I'll ask you again, why the absolute emphasis that this is not a diet?
Because diets don't work. You can follow any type of program and you can do exactly what they tell you, but as soon as you stop doing what they tell you, you're going to gain your weight back again. You need to reprogram your brain that has been going in a negative circuit for most of your life if you've been battling weight management problems. We need to reroute it, rethink it, and develop a new lifestyle that becomes habit, like riding a bicycle. It's not something that you have to think about every day. We're not going to count calories. We're not going to count carbohydrates. We're not on a point system. We are going to educate ourselves on what our body actually needs to stay fit, keep our blood sugar levels down, to keep our blood pressures down, to keep our cholesterol levels down.
Now, I notice here that you actually can do and usually do start with detoxification first. Could you talk about that first step?
Absolutely. For the first 5 to 7 days of the program, we are going to do a detox of carbohydrates and sugars from our body. We need to clean out our organs, our pancreas, our gallbladder, if we still have one, our liver, our brain, our taste buds. We need to get rid of all of the sugar that we have in our body so that when we start to eat properly, our body will be able to metabolize and function and use the foods for energy and not store them as fat. You know, I think of it always as if you take your car to a dealership and you wouldn't go in and say, don't change the filter, just put in a new thing of oil. You know, don't worry about anything else. Don't drain any of the old stuff. Just put in a new can of oil. We'll be good to go. You would never do that because your car and your engine would not work properly. And it's the same thing with our body. We're not going to start putting in fresh fruits and vegetables into our dirty tank because our body's not going to process those properly. It's still going to turn everything into fat. So we need to clean everything out, get a fresh start, get rid of all the sludge that we've been harboring and holding on to, and start fresh.
Now, when someone identifies themselves as one to be a participant here, and we're filling up these slots, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. We're reserving 25 slots for Patty to work with. Patients of ours, Dr. Swigart and myself. And I'm filling that up pretty good, Patty. I think I'm at 8 or 9 right now, and literally with a month to go. I think we'll have no trouble getting to the number of 25.
It's very exciting. It's very easy to do. There isn't anything that you can't have on this program. I'm not going to say you can never have pizza and you can't have wings and you can't have your favorite carrot cake ever again. Absolutely not. There isn't anything you can't have. I'm going to teach you how to have it and what to have with it so that it's burned as energy and not stored as fat. You're going to have more energy. You're going to sleep better. Your complexion will change. Ladies, your nails will grow. Your hair will be shiny. You'll be fortifying your body with so many nutrients, and it's amazing the results that we have. The average patient that follows the weekly lesson plan is going to lose between 25 and 30 pounds and 10 to 15 inches and have the knowledge that you need to continue to get to your goal weight and maintain it for life.
Yeah, I was just going to get there. You've already given me some numbers to work with. I was going to ask, okay, how does one start? Do they set a goal? Do you try to avoid setting goals? Does this just happen? And what happens is that people end up losing that amount of weight over a 10-week period? How is that? Because people usually come in with an idea in mind of where they'd like to be. Is that something you encourage?
Absolutely. Goals are a very important part of this program. You need to have goals. You need to have now goals, short-term goals, and long-term goals. And I ask everybody, and we're going to do this through journaling. The program is all-encompassing. You're going to get journals, and you're going to get menu plans, customized protocols, because every individual is different. Every individual has different needs, has different issues, has different health issues, joint issues. We're going to address them all individually. Even though this is a group and we meet as a group once a week, I am going to meet individually with everybody throughout the program on a one-on-one basis. And there is going to be so much access to websites, to emails, to direct contact with me throughout the week. So it's not that we're going to see you Saturday morning for 1 hour and you're on your own for the week. You're going to have ongoing support through myself, through your office, through Dr. Swigart's office, and we are going to set goals each week and try to attain those goals. And when we make these short-term goals, at the end of the 12-week program, you're going to see a significant weight loss.
Now, the foundation by which this all gets accomplished is through a very well-known, maybe not well understood, but very well-known concept referred to as glycemic index, low glycemic. Another term, less understood, glycemic load. And I got a feeling that this is going to keep coming up over and over and over again. Could you spend a little bit of time on what these two concepts are and how large of a role they're going to play?
The glycemic index is a huge role, and it's a ranking on a carbohydrate and how it impacts our blood sugar level and the load of the food and the meal of the sugar that you are partaking of. And our goal in this program is to eat low glycemic foods and low glycemic menu planning. And it's all based on adding more fiber and more protein to your meal. For every gram of fiber you eat, it's going to help to counteract a gram of sugar. The protein is going to help to break down the sugar and the carbohydrate. So everything that we're going to be doing is going to be low glycemic. We're going to learn how to read labels. We're going to learn about the good sugars, the sugars that impact our blood sugars in a positive way, that burn slowly, that give us sustained energy, that don't give us those spikes and those highs and lows all day long. And our goal for those diabetics that are out there is to have our blood sugar level be the same reading or near the same reading when we wake up in the morning, at lunchtime, at supper, and before we go to bed, so that we're not on this roller coaster of highs and lows all day long of high blood sugar reading.
You mentioned the magic word, and certainly in my role as a medical doctor, going over labs with every single patient I have battled with, literally had engagements on many occasions dealing with people who are either full-blown diabetic at the time we're talking or so close to that line that they're soon going to become one. They've always needed a formal way of dealing with this, and I've been very embarrassed and apologetic about how I think I've let them down, but never fear. I've seen the error of my ways, and I think the TLS program fills that gap for that person. Maybe I didn't talk about weight loss when I saw these labs in front of me. The two will go hand in hand, but there are life-threatening issues on the line here, and the glycemic approach will be as helpful to the diabetic as it will be the person who just feels that they want to lose weight. Haven't you found that to be the case?
Yes. In fact, the diabetics have great success. There's a 96% rate that the diabetic blood sugar levels, the hemoglobin A1Cs, are going to fall back into normal level. They're going to be reducing their sugar intake greatly. They're going to be getting the right type of sugars on board. It is such an educational program, and it is completely different than diabetic education and diabetic teaching. This, we're going to learn about marketing. We're going to learn about the role that marketing plays in making us be attractive to something that is healthy for us, but when we get right down to it and we educate ourselves, we realize that maybe some of these choices that we're having aren't quite so healthy, or there are better ones out there. It's amazing. And most of us think that we're doing a pretty good job right now, that we have changed from white bread and white flours to whole wheats, and we're eating, differently than we have in the past. We're trying to have more fruits and vegetables, but it's still not enough. And just because something is labeled whole wheat or multi-grain doesn't mean that it's always the best and it's the pure. And sometimes there is more sugar in some of these products than there is fiber.
Goodness gracious. Label readers, they will become, will they not?
They will become very, very good label readers. I'm telling you, we have such support with this. In the past 8 years that I have been teaching this to patients, to anybody, even those that are already physically fit, don't have weight that they need to lose, but they want to continue, and they worry about their metabolism as they age and bodies changing and things happening, or we worry about genetics and our family history, which plays a big role in everything. They get on board just for the education, just to learn, and it's amazing. You're not going to get handed a 1,200 or 1,500, 2,000 calorie diet. There is no dieting. You are not going to be hungry ever. We are going to eat every 2 hours. We are going to eat high-protein foods, fiber foods. We're going to drink lots of lemon water and herbal tea, and there's so many choices out there that nobody ever has a problem. Everybody is extremely amazed on how good they feel throughout this program, and it doesn't take long. After that week of detox, you are going to feel so fantastic. It's not the easiest week. It's hard and it's a challenge, but once you get over the hump of that third day, you have so much energy, you're sleeping better, you feel good. Some people like the way they feel so much after detox that they do it seasonally. It helps people with allergies. It helps people with migraines. The list is endless.
Now, I'm looking at a list, by the way, of the things that you can expect to have included if you become a part of this. So let me go down through here and get brief comments from you on each one of these. Comes right off of the brochure that we put together with your help. First up, right off the bat, 10 weeks of lifestyle modification, classes and instructional handouts. I've seen your handouts, by the way, very, very good handouts, take-homes that always have a message of the week, I guess is the best way to put it, correct?
Absolutely. You're going to have one lesson, one new thing that we're going to practice a week, and that's it. There is no overload. This isn't difficult. It's not complicated whatsoever. There will be one new thing, and we will talk about it on Saturday mornings in class. We will have educational support with it during that morning, and then you will get handouts to take home. You will get a journal that will review what your lesson is for the week. Journaling is a big part of keeping track of your lifestyle, and not just for weight management, but just overall life, because we get so caught up in rushing from point A to point B all day long that sometimes we forget to eat, sometimes we forget what we had as far as, did we have any fruits today? Did I have any glasses of water? Did I take my supplements? Did I sleep 8 hours? Why am I feeling the way I am today? And if you actually journal it and you put it down, you're going to be able to look back and say, that's why. Maybe I'm a little dehydrated today because I only had 2 glasses of water. I only slept 5 hours. I didn't get my normal 7 or 8. So we're going to be able to review this on a weekly basis and be able to tweak it and see what we can do better for the following week. If you have a bad day, it's not a reason to give up and say, oh, well, I had this and this today. I might as well just blow it and have what I want today.
Yeah.
No, you can start right back over the next day, which is a great thing. So everybody can do this from age 8 to 88. It won't be a problem for anybody to do. And it becomes a social event. It becomes something that everybody looks forward to coming and doing. You make new friends. You share things that you're doing. You share shopping tips. We bring things in that we found. We actually have a cooking class where we're going to cook a low glycemic meal and share it with everybody. So there's so much support during the week with this and instruction that you're going to get that you're never alone.
I'm excited. I plan on attending a couple of these classes of yours. I think you do a great job, at least from all I can see. You've done this so many times before. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think you'd like to take control of a situation maybe way out of control, give us a call here at 724-942-3002, and we'll reserve you one of those slots beginning September 27th, Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, and for the next 9 Saturdays after that. That's 10 Saturdays in a row. You'll reach those goals. You will hit them, and you'll really enjoy it as you are going about the task. Patty, thank you so much for coming aboard this morning. I want to, with your permission, sort of break off our conversation now. I'd like to get Dr. Tyson Swigart on the line with me. He's very much in favor and fully behind this entire program, too. I'd like to get his input on how he sees an addition that maybe some of his expertise can help out. Do you mind if we do that today?
That would be lovely.
Okay. So I'm going to say thanks for dialing us up this morning. Thanks for introducing yourself to our listeners. Get to the radio and listen to the other half of this. I'm going to have Dr. Tyson Swigart with me in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, the chiropractor who manages South Point Chiropractic, and his expertise is in movement. Funny how that should work with somebody who's got weight loss issues. Movement. Go figure. Thank you, Patty. There you have it, folks. You've now got introduced to Patty Simanski. When we return, we'll be with Dr. Tyson Swigart to find out his input on the TLS program that he, too, endorses 100%. Be right back with Dr. Tyson Swigart. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to An Impact on Your Health. We're here in KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney with you today on the Monday morning version of the show. We are launching a weight loss program, a diabetes preventative program that you've just met the gal who's going to be guiding you through 10 weeks of this interesting program called TLS. Now, myself and Dr. Tyson Swigart, a very excellent chiropractor in the South Hills area, particularly South Point, feel so strongly about it, we intend to participate. I think that's really a bonus for the people who participate in this program. We couldn't have really had any influence on a Jenny Craig or a Weight Watchers program. They are nationally written programs, national protocols, but we're looking at this and saying, you know what, we got strong feelings about this too. Dr. Tyson Swigart has absolutely strong feelings in a certain area about movement. Now listen to this gentleman's pedigree. He's a 1992 graduate of the University of Maryland in kinesiology. He's a 97 graduate of Palmer College of Chiropractic. By the way, he's cum laude. Oh yeah. Certified strength and conditioning specialist, board certified sports medicine chiropractor, former Division I collegiate strength and conditioning coach, physician mentor, Slippery Rock University Exercise Science Advisory Board. I'm not done. 24 years of experience training athletes of all competitive levels, master level martial arts instructor, former team doctor for the Washington Wild Things. Folks, it's enough, right? This gentleman is well known and well accomplished. Let's allow you to meet him. His name is Dr. Tyson Swigart. Good morning, Tyson. Welcome aboard.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
I'm enjoying our launching of the program. I don't know if were you able to hear the first half of the show?
I caught about the last 20 minutes, so Patty seems like she's doing a great job.
She is doing a great job. I knew when we first met her, and she was explaining her role in presenting this TLS program. I thought she was a great fit. I'm even more certain about that after listening to her this morning. And we're moving toward this September 27th date, you and I, where we're putting the full force of our reputation behind such a program. And I know you don't take something like that very lightly. I mean, I don't either. If I'm going to put my hand stamp on a program, it better meet certain tests. And up to this time, it's meeting all the tests that I've laid in front of this young lady. How do you feel about that?
Well, I believe, like all the things that you endorse, that the real interesting part of that program is that it's an empowerment program through knowledge. You learn the things you need to know, and not necessarily just be told what to do. And I always endorse those types of products, things that allow you to become a more educated consumer, I would say. And it's not a program that's dependent upon any individual products. It's more dependent upon just getting smarter, and I like that. I like that concept.
Now, I'd mentioned to our listeners today, and I'll now reiterate, we're as involved in this as we really care to be, and I know you and I both care to be involved, to bring to the table, to bring to these people who participate our levels of expertise that sort of help and in a coordinated manner go right along with what Patricia Simanski is wanting to accomplish. She, by the way, has told both of us she wants our input, and input she will get. I will be telling you, as I think I already have, that hormonally, I'm going to be discussing the thyroid issue with everybody in that group of 25, and I feel it's a role that I should be able to fill. I don't believe that you can get down into weight loss issues and not have those hormones completely balanced out. In your case, yeah, I believe you agree with me too, but you bring another level of expertise, because I'm telling you, I know people that I'm sitting in this program who don't move, who do not exercise, who do not get around this planet in any way other than the most sedentary way, and you get very strong feelings about movement, and I believe that's the level of expertise you bring, getting people moving again. How do you feel about this movement issue?
Well, so one of the things that we really have, I would say, really have emphasized, particularly in the last several years, is that there's very poor correlation a lot of times with diagnoses and symptoms. For example, 50% of asymptomatic 50-year-olds have MRIs that demonstrate disc herniations. 70% of 50-year-olds approximately have degenerated discs without symptoms. 61% of individuals with torn meniscuses in their knee have no symptoms. So my search to find an answer to those questions and those kind of seemingly odd results on imaging led me to come full circle to believe that really the real way to combat those conditions is to proper movement, not necessarily for treating a diagnosis, but treating the whole person and allowing them to fix themselves. So that's one of the things that attracted me into this to this program, which is more of a knowledge-based program than anything else I've been involved with from a weight loss standpoint.
Exercise and activity, Dr. Tice. I believe that if we were to ignore that, we miss a major input that allows patients to gain even greater control over where their weight is going after this program's over. And if they're very sedentary at this point, movement and the correct movement and a physiologically balanced way of moving around the planet, and then how much exercise, to what degree of exertion, these are all concepts that need to be taught, and this is right up your alley. This is exactly what you do and have been known for quite some time. Can you take a group of people? Now, it's obvious that you can take a group of athletes because you've worked with so many of them. They're fine-tuned machines, and yet they're always seeking to achieve a level of the optimization. But here we are dealing with some people that I don't believe have much movement at all. Can you develop a schematic for them, a program for them that catches them where they are and allows them to get results and maybe doesn't injure them in the process? That's my question.
I think a lot of times, Dr. Courtney, it's easier to work with non-athletes because if the athletes are dealing with such a level of fine-tuning, but there's so many concepts, just some basic movement concepts that are extremely applicable to almost any patient or athlete. Once you understand the basic principles, then it makes the movement part easy. And I think it's real important to talk to these participants that we're going to have, or to a patient that learn to understand their own body and know that pain is a signal, not necessarily a bad signal or a good signal, just a signal that something's going on, and to understand that you need to address that, and how we address that is by educating that person on what when it's safe to move, when it's not safe to move, and then numerous cases in my office where, we've had individuals that were pretty, which we thought would never respond, too sedentary, and just teaching them not to be afraid, that pain isn't necessarily the thing that they need to worry about, more so, learning how to move again and bend and lift and push and pull and all the things you need to do in order to function in everyday life.
That kind of expertise is going to be available to those who are enrolled in this program, who come each and every Saturday, to know that you have that level of expertise right there available for them to take advantage of, if they should so desire. I think should be soothing and appealing to everybody who's listening to us right now. You pursue a concept which, I like the sound of it. I don't necessarily know what it means, but I think it'll have a ring and resonate well with the listeners. You refer to it as organic, a search for organic. Now, this is a buzzword if there ever was one at this particular time in the world of health. Organic. It almost has a very clean and appealing note to it, but I've never heard it attached to movement and exercise before. How is there such a thing, and what is there about exercise that could be considered organic? Because to me, it would be head over heels over what the conventional is.
It's interesting you ask that question, because I think it is a relatively new concept, but the principles are old, been around for a long time. I would think you would agree that at one point in time, all food was organic, and I would say that kind of parallel on that all movement was organic. We used to, as a society, do lots of walking and manual labor, and people didn't worry so much about how much weight they had put on or whether they were going to burn enough calories during the day. But as the search for convenience kind of progressed, we've really broken down exercise into smaller and smaller components. Going to a gym and doing circuit training and things that really have made it more and more convenient. But at the same time, we've lost the holistic component to that, where we're working individual muscles, but not necessarily working movement. So I think that that trend is starting actually to reverse. So we've put a label on that, and that label is organic exercise. And in order for an exercise to be organic, number one, just like food, it needs to be sustainable, meaning it does not promote injury and stays challenging. Typically, organic exercise activities mimic everyday activities, and they include, thirdly, components of all the different parts of fitness: strength training, flexibility, and balance, cardiovascular conditioning. The idea is that once you start on the path of understanding what types of exercises are good for you, what types of movements are good for you, that you can continue on that path for a whole lifetime. Very similar to the concepts that are promoted by TLS.
Let me ask you a specific question, because I certainly hear of it from many of the people that I see who are active, and there's been quite an emphasis placed on cardiovascular workout. Cardio has taken on a really important role in the development of somebody's athletic regime and the exercise regime. Is that necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, or not?
Well, I believe, and there's been some recent controversial research that that runners, all you need is 5 minutes a day in order to get all the cardiovascular benefits out of being from a lifespan standpoint, from being a runner. I believe that you need that component in an exercise program. Absolutely, you need a cardiovascular component. But can those exercises qualify as organic, as we use the term? It depends. It depends on how they're done. I see lots of runners in my practice, and a lot of those injuries that I see are movement related. They're overuse injuries, and one of the key concepts we go back to is those exercises need to be sustainable. And running marathons, for example, exposes you to some cardiovascular risk that wouldn't be exposed otherwise. I mean, they can put too much stress on the heart. So, does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. And if someone would seek your help, and I'm going to imagine that there'll be a number of people who participate in this TLS program. They're going to realize that they need some assistance with developing their own programs of activity. What kind of a time frame can you take somebody, just think of the most deconditioned individual that you can envision, and that more than likely might very well be the kind of patient that we're going to be seeing. Is this a very teachable thing, and can it happen with some rapidity? Can you actually learn how to do organic activity in a correct way in a reasonable period of time and get benefit in a reasonable period of time?
Absolutely. What we start with all our patients is an inventory of what they are looking to accomplish from a movement standpoint, meaning, if it's something as simple as going down the stairs or picking up a child or, walking their kid to the school bus, or something as advanced as, competing at a high athletic level. We take that inventory, design specific exercises and activities that allow that individual to do those things, and it's in a step-by-step fashion. So again, kind of going back to the TLS thing where we set goals, and we do those goals on a short-term and long-term basis. So I think even the most sedentary individuals very commonly see advances in what they are intending to do. So every program is individualized. There's no specific course that we use or outline we use. It's very tailored to the individual.
Now, pain, and in particular musculoskeletal pain, usually is what inhibits somebody from engaging in activity. And assessing that pain from your clinical viewpoint, I believe, is probably a pretty important part of what you do. You talk about sometimes something known as good pain and other times bad pain. Could you, because I've never heard the concept before put out just that way, could you describe what good pain and bad pain would be?
Good pain and bad pain is an old exercise concept that I would say is very frequently misunderstood. But yes, that you want part of if someone has not moved for a long period of time, there's going to be some discomfort. And the question is with continued movement or the volume of movement that we prescribe, does that pain get better or does it get worse? And there's a definite difference between, let's say, for example, pain from a damaged joint or pain from just from moving your body. And I think once you learn the proper movement techniques, most of the pain that you experience will diminish with activity, not increase with activity. And so oftentimes that's just a simple matter of understanding how to bend or how to lift or how to reach and do those things in a biomechanically sound fashion. So the difference between good pain and bad pain is sometimes difficult to explain, absolutely, but we always strive to go for the good pain, which is pain that with movement improves, as opposed to the bad pain, which is pain that gets worse with movement. And very, very frequently I found that patients of mine are afraid to move because of the pain, and with the right types of therapy, a lot of times they can go back and move the way that they wanted to, and they're surprised. So a lot of times you have to overcome those fears as well.
Now we're going to be seeing it's going to be a fun experiment, and I'm just so excited about the outcomes that we're going to expect to see in patients that you and I know personally that'll be able to put themselves in a position where they're going to feel very good about themselves in a 10-week period of time. I'm thankful for the fact that you're available to help them with their movement and exercise issues, because I think every single one of them are going to need some sort of direction in that regard. I believe that hormonally, I feel that it's going to be very imperative that we deal with every one of these patients and their hormonal status. And I have a feeling in 10 weeks we can see major turnarounds that bring people to a place they've always wanted to come to. They just needed to get the right help. I think your movement, my working with the hormones, Patty working with his glycemic program, this holds some very exciting things in store for the patients that we end up setting this program. And by the way, this is only our first one, right? We're doing a 10-weeker, in the fall. But I think you and I fully admit that we hope to be able to handle this every quarter throughout the entire year. This is just the first one of many, wouldn't you say?
I hope so. I think the program's going to be very successful, so I don't think we're going to have any trouble running it on a quarterly basis.
I'm looking forward to that too. Well, let's say I'm anxious to get this thing launched, and looking forward to meet with you personally as we finalize our contributions and how it will be intertwined with the way Patty has her lessons plans. But let's just say this: we will be as involved as one ever could be. I think it's the right role for you and I to play. I never did like the concept of utilizing something that cut the doctor out of the mix. The doctor needs to be in the mix, and I think most patients would be appreciative to have the doctor right there along with the professional and getting that weight loss handled and managing you medically and joint-wise, musculoskeletal-wise along the way. Any final words you want to leave our listeners with today, Dr. Tyson?
Well, I'd like to go back to that first concept, Doctor. I've really been excited to work with you over the last several months. I think that your quest to empower your patients to become better, not only medically but as people, I think is magnificent. So your quest for knowledge is impressive, and I'm happy to be on board with you on this program.
Well, it's been a great relationship so far. It's going to get nothing but better. I want to thank you for coming aboard today and allowing us to invade the inner sanctum. By the way, your kiddies went off to school today too, didn't they?
Yeah, first day of school today.
Things got real quiet, real fast around the house. I know the feeling. Look, I'll be talking to you soon. Thanks for coming aboard this morning. I'll be till then, Dr. Tice. Let's help Patty get this thing filled up. We got 25 slots to fill. I think we'll have no trouble doing it. Good luck, Doc.
Thank you very much for having me on today.
Absolutely, my pleasure. There you have it, folks. Dr. Tyson Swigart, chiropractor, the developer and the head guy at the South Point Chiropractic Facility. It's located right at the South Point exit of I-79. As you come off it, if you're moving south on 79, you take a left at the end of the ramp. If you come off going north on 79, you take a right. Anyway, at the top of the hill, there's a big red light. That's the Morganza Road. You turn left on Morganza Road. Look on your left side. You'll see a number of shops and a plaza on your left side. Dr. Tyson Swigart's office is in that plaza, and that's where the venue will be. You give us a call here if you think you might be interested in getting involved with one of those slots. 724-942-3002. That's 742-942-3002. We didn't mention it, but Patricia will be a part. I've already talked to Patty Simanski, who's had an opportunity to sample the tea and the lemonade and the coffee. Finds them to be excellent. Likes the concept of thermogenicity. Certainly on board with the issue of whether something is low glycemic. The cephalic blunting is just an extra bonus. So there'll be plenty of tastings and opportunity for patients who are involved with this program to be able to get familiarized with the Patricia line. And of course, as she goes back, her main visits out there in Johnstown. She'll be passed on the faith. There'll be tastings in Johnstown. I swear to God, we'll be able to pass on to you. Now, just about rounds out our morning today. Don't forget, we got the eye programs coming up in the month of September. If you are afflicted with those terrible, dastardly eye diseases, macular degeneration, glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy, as well as cataracts, give us a call. Head to our website at pittsburgheyeprotocol.com and read about the program as we have it published there. We have links under Dr. Ed Condrat's site of healingtheeye.com. Very busy site, a lot of information there, but we are the northern affiliate of Dr. Condrat's program and certainly enjoy bringing the Ed Condrat treatment to you locally. So if you think you're interested in the eye program, give us a call. Want to talk to Sister Sarah here in the office, 724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002. Okay. That about does it, folks. We're going to work our way on out of here. Got a terrible humming right here. I don't know if it's coming across to you, but we're going to pull it into the pits right now. Look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Don't forget the Baresha tasting out there in Mars at 158 Brickyard Road. Going to be there at 6 o'clock. It'll be Lori Lankowitz out there inviting you to come on in and sample the Baresha line. Dr. Angela Mitzos will be there, I'm sure. So, until then, this is Dr. Dennis Courtney with Dr. Tyson Swigart and with Patricia Simanski saying so long for AM Impact on your health.